It's the bag work about of apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? You two in Apartment 5B, hosted by your man Kill. I got my squad up here in effect with me tonight. I got my man Yao G's back in effect after the wedding, man. I seen the pictures. Y'all was out there on some Coming to America shit, man. It was beautiful, man. You know what I mean? Congratulations, man.
Hey, man, thank you very much, man. Hey, Kill, I hate that you couldn't be there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, too, man. I couldn't make it, but, man, I saw the pictures. It looked amazing, man.
Hey, man, you had a ball. But, you know, we'll do something special for a baby shower coming up I'm not announcing anything.
Whoa. Time out. You said baby shower.
When it happens.
Oh, okay. I'm like, y'all one of those people. Get married, get pregnant on the honeymoon. Y'all was like,
I'm just enjoying not getting yelled at right now. Because I know
hey, bro. I understand. Enjoy that peace and quiet, man, for now while it lasts. Tell Candace I said love her, man.
Yeah, I shall.
I got my man Nick out of ATL. What's going on, good brother?
What's going on, my man? Ready to get the show going?
No doubt. Good new out of Juris. What's good brother?
Peace, everybody. What's good, man? Ready to kick it tonight.
And I got my brother Hassan for the first time up here with us tonight. What's going on, Haas?
Peace, man. How you?
Man, everything is good. Staying in the realm of the NBA, what we just talking about a little bit off camera, we are going with, all the awards coming out, most improved, blah, blah, blah. So we are talking about the most improved MCs that may have, I'm not saying they were necessarily whack. Maybe they was, and they got better. Victor Oladipo was never a whack ball player, but I don't think anybody expected what we got out of him this season. So we're talking about MCs that you may have been questionable about at first, like, why is this nigga even in the group? But then eventually they go on to prove their worth to why they're in the group or why they're in the culture in general. So I don't have mine in any order. I'm just kind of spitting them off. But Haas, you chopping up with us for the first time tonight, man. Who's one of your most improved MCs?
Yo, right off the rip, man. Yo, Black Thought.
Black Thought.
Okay. I never really rocked with Black Thought like that. You know what I'm saying? And I've always heard his music, and I always thought he was a dope MC. But when I heard that freestyle on Flex's show a couple months ago, when he ripped like 11 minutes, like first take, no hiccups or nothing. It was like one of the illest. And we can't even say it was a freestyle because we all know it was written. But everybody has their interpretations of what the terminology freestyle means. But it was ill. It was just ill. It blew my mind, man. To see somebody rip like that for 11 minutes straight, it was pretty impressive, man. So right out the rip for me is Black Thought.
All right, bro. You gotta come through the crib then, man, because I'm kind of hurt right now, man.
I know.
You one of them, man. You're one of them. You're one of those people who heard the freestyle, and the rest of us, like, man, Thought do that shit with his eyes closed.
I know, and me. You know me, Kill. You know me for years now. You know who I rock with, man.
Right. I know you Jada. I know.
Kiss. Kiss is really. And over the past couple of weeks, I know it ain't about this podcast, man, but like we've been discussing top fives and stuff like that. And all my people is old school, man. And I'm in one region, Jersey, New York, that area. All my favorite MCs is from there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't go nowhere else. I don't venture out nowhere else. So.
All right. Like I said, I got a best of Black Thought mix for you. Like we were just talking about, I put you on the Joe Budden.
Yeah.
So I got a Black Thought mix for you, man. Don't worry, man. I'll make you a believer, man. It's no problem. Yo, Gnu, who's one of your people, bro?
All right, so like you said, in no particular order, but first off, my first guy I'm gonna go with Phife Dawg from Tribe Called Quest. On the first album, People's Instinctive Travels, Phife was he wasn't whack, but you know he wasn't the more favorite MC. You know, but you know I would say from on the Low End Theory, you know what I'm saying, and then Midnight Marauders, you know what I'm saying. Phife Dawg definitely stepped his game up. You know what I'm saying? So he's definitely one of my top 5 cats that I would say he most improved. You know what I mean? So
no doubt.
Phife Dawg.
Nick, I see you shaking your head, so I'm just gonna Phife on your list.
Exactly. So I'm just gonna add a little bit to that. Like,
okay.
First album, you know, he was kind of missing in action for the most part. Might have been on 3 or 4 tracks. Low End Theory comes around, bugging out. It's like, yo, this nigga Phife. Then the Butter joint came on right behind that. So he's just like 2 home runs back to back. So that's why Phife is on my list. We joke about Phife a lot, but I got to give him his props on that because he did step it up, way up.
No doubt. Yeah, who you got on yours?
First and foremost, I'm gonna say Game.
Okay.
When Game first came out, I don't know. You know, some rappers just rub you the wrong way. I actually, my entire list, I won't say my entire list, but a lot of people on my list today, you know, what it is, they rub you the wrong way at first, and you don't really recognize the skill. And it was Game, it was like, he was annoying. He was always name dropping. You know, first album was tough. It was a classic. I couldn't even debate it because of the reach, how much I was hearing the songs on the radio. And he had really, really good production and really, really good songs. And he was rapping a little bit on the first album. But when he lost Dre, when him and Dre had a little squabble, I want to say that was maybe 06, 2005, 2006. I didn't think, I was like, okay, Game about to be done.
Right.
Pumping out these freestyles. And it was, you know, that was 2,000 bars or 84 bars, whatever bars he decided to come out with. And I was like, damn, that's some kind of rap. And then he dropped that second album. And that was impressed me because he didn't have Dre, he didn't have 50, you know, he just had producers. And he really showcased to me that he can really rap. Aside from the annoying shit he does, you know, the name dropping, all the gimmicks, just continuously beefing with people he shouldn't be beefing with. But just through time, his music is just really, really good. And his last 2 albums, not the last album per se. The last album wasn't that bad actually. The 1992 album wasn't that bad, but the
2 joints.
What was it?
I know you're talking about
Documentary 2.
Yeah.
And then 2.5. Those 2 albums, I was like, yo, that solidified him in my, you know, and if you had to put a soundtrack together of like 30 artists for my life, he's in there because just the consistency and how much I listen to him now as opposed to then.
Yeah, no doubt. I feel you on that. Game is actually on mine too because same thing for everything you said. When he first dropped, I'm always like, yo, why Dre sign this nigga? Like, yo, what is it that Dre heard you that like you ready to put him up there with, you know, your Eminems? I'm not saying I'm just saying when you look at the people Dre put you on to is Eminem and DOC, and I'm like, this dude, like, I'm not getting this. And like you said, it was too much name drop and everything with this, Jay, you know what I mean? But yo, I don't know, I can't call when, but somewhere between the Documentary and the Red album, by the Red album, I was just like, yo, this nigga's a problem. That joint, The City with Kendrick is just like
crazy.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. The joint Ricky, where he's taking the Boys the Men joint and
What's in the Hood?
Yeah, the Boys the Hood joint. So like I said, I can't put my finger on when it turned, but somewhere, somehow, that dude just stepped his game up. And Documentary 2 is yo, I was like, here we go again. We just talked about this on the last show, Gnu, where it's like, you know, you may throw up some bricks and now you gotta do your whatever.
Re-up on it.
Yeah. I'm like, here we go. And yo, I popped that in and like, dog, I didn't want to like it and I couldn't help but like it. Like, dude, it's tilted, you know, to the point that I still haven't heard Documentary 2.5. I'm saving that shit for when I just need some good hip hop type thing, you know what I mean? And I'm like ready to listen to something, and I just kept that. I still haven't even listened to that joint, but yeah, Game is definitely on there. And it's just definitely to me getting better. And it's funny you said that, yeah, just about his beat selection, because I've always said with Game and Ross, I never look at either one of them as lyrical, but they're incredible beat pickers. You know what I mean? Their production is always bananas, and I've always wondered, do they know they're not the greatest MCs, so they know they have to pick good beats? Versus a Nas who knows he's a rap god and picks suspect beats. You know what I mean? What you think, Yao? You the MC.
I honestly, because people have said the same thing about me, that I know how to pick production, but I think it's just that he, like, particularly Game has an ear. If you look at him, he's very clever in the fact, even when he picks his features, like when he picks his features, he raps exactly how the other guy raps. Like he's got a song where he raps like Outkast on the Red Album, right? Mm-hmm. And it sounds like he studied that shit and was really like particular about that shit. Documentary 2, he's got a couple songs on there where he sounds like Big, and they are tough. And he's very good at mimicking. So I think that is what helps him pick production as far as what aligns him, because regardless of what people say as far as him mimicking people, you can tell that Game has been he's a student. He knows rap. He knows rap from different eras. He knows rap from different regions. He's able to pick these beats and be able to put his own rhymes to them. Hold on, I'm sorry. What? Okay, N1. I thought the game's on. I apologize. You know what I'm saying?
N1 on who? N1 on what?
Well, I thought Covington was gonna get an N1, but he got fouled. He went to the line. But like I said, with Game, with his production, him and Ross, they just know what sounds good and what's pleasing to the listener as far as the music. And like you said, Nas has a history of picking suspect beats. You know, even Jay sometimes, some of the beats he picks, you'll be like, ah! But particularly Game and Ross, those two always have top-notch production on all of their albums.
Right. No doubt, no doubt. Haas, who's somebody else you got for us, good brother?
Common.
Okay.
But Common is he's one of the most improved for me for another reason, man. Not for his rapping, man, but for what he's doing in the community, man. I think just the positivity that he's bringing through that avenue, man. I mean, he's still doing his. I think his lyrics have changed and his style of rapping has changed from his first album, man, to where he is today. You know what I'm saying? I just think his message is coming off more on some social political type shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really feeling the brother from that angle, man. You know, I mean, not really from a rapping standpoint, man. I mean, I've always been a fan, but I'm more of a fan now because of what he's doing in the community, man. But I mean, the Like Water for Chocolate, that was my favorite album of his, man. But outside of that, man, I just like what he's doing in the community, bro.
All right, no doubt. Gnu, who you got up next?
Up next, I would say most improved cat to me would be my man Ghostface Killah from the Wu-Tang Clan. And I say that because say what?
You said which one?
I say that because Ghostface.
Okay.
Ghostface Killah.
Yeah,
Ghostface Killah. On the album 36 Chamber, man, when you first hear that song where he says catch the blast of a hype verse, like that line right there, I was like, nah, I wasn't feeling that, man. You know what I'm saying? But he improved, man. Like, you know, he went from that to like I lick shots at Jesus, slap boxing Joseph type shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Supreme Clientele, and you know, the list goes on and on and on and on. So yeah, man, Ghostface Killah is next on my list.
No doubt. Dope pick. Who you got next, Nick?
They actually took two of mine back to back.
Word. Okay, great. Yeah. Like, brother.
Yeah. So I'll piggyback. I'll say Ghostface for the same reason. Like on 36 Chambers, he didn't stand out like Method Man, GZA, even Old Dirty, Raekwon, Inspector Det. Them cats kind of stood out. Ghost was just kind of there. Even when he did the feature on the Return to the 36 Chambers on Old Dirty's album, he was still like, nah, okay. But when only Built for Cuban Links came out, it's like, okay. When I heard Criminology, I said, okay, this nigga Ghost a problem. And then he just kind of solidified it on GZA's on the Fourth Chamber and Investigative Reports. I said, okay, he my favorite member now. So Ghostface definitely gradually improved, and then he mastered his technique on Supreme Clientele.
No doubt. And you said you had Calm too?
Calm too. When he first came out, Scoobity Boobity Beep Boop and all that shit, ahoy he hoy, like, what the fuck is this nigga? then when Resurrection came, you know what I'm saying, it kind of advanced a little bit, and then one day it all makes sense. You know, he kind of just matured over the years. He had the joint about abortion and just rapping about being a dad. He just had topics that rappers weren't speaking on at that time, because that was kind of the bling era too.
All right, no doubt. Yeah, who you got next, good brother?
My man Dave East. You know, so I'm always the younger cat.
Here's the funny thing with you, man, because I said Dave a couple of years ago, and you looked at me sideways. I remember that time.
Why? And this is why. And this is why. So, Hill. So, I've always been. To me, there's always a difference between there's niggas who got bars, and there's niggas who are nice. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. You know what I mean? There's levels. Like, yeah, plenty of niggas got bars, but certain niggas is nice. Dave East to me was on the bar category. It was like, you know, for me, you gotta come when you come to the radio station. You gotta come with your, like, you know, you come in the freestyle at Flex, and this was a couple years ago. You gotta come with your shit. You know what I mean? And I feel like he came with some shit, but it was just like, it was a good verse. But all I kept hearing throughout, like, for the first year, were just like, that's a decent verse. The verses are decent. Nothing groundbreaking. And then in my group chat, my homie was like, yo, each album is fire. And I was like, whatever, cool, like, sure. And I waited like 3 or 4 months. And on election day, it was when Trump got elected, it was the first time I decided to listen to a project, just random. I associate days with albums, don't mind me. And I was like, yo, this shit is kind of decent. Like, it's versatile. He's got bars, he's got hard records, he's got meaningful records, he's got girl records.
Now hold tight. What album are we talking about? Which one?
What's the album? It's Kyrie Chanel. Mixtape. Kyrie Chanel. That's the one. And I was sold after that. I was just like, you know, he put a pretty good project together. Then when I started hearing, then he started hitting more radio freestyles, and he was bodying them. I still don't think he's like the nicest rapper. I don't think his voice is great either. That's a thing that people mention a lot. I don't think his voice is like the greatest as far as like being able to listen to, but he puts together good songs. And for what it's worth, I'm a New York, New Jersey nigga too. I need hard New York hip hop, yo, and he delivers that, you know, for me. You know what I'm saying? So, Dave East.
Hey, can I ask you a question, brother? Because you said something that made me think, and I never thought about it that way when you used that comparison analogy. Give me an example of someone that is nice and someone that is lyrical. Outside of Dave East, somebody else.
It's not necessarily lyrical. It's just having bars. I think it's a difference.
Okay.
Let me see.
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, it's all good. I like challenges like this. I would say this. Like Murs, right? You ever heard of Murs?
Mm-hmm.
Murs has bars. But Elzhi is nice. You know what I'm saying? Elzhi is nice.
Wow.
With the flow, with the way he chops his bars up, his wordplay, all that shit counts. Like, there's niggas who can go in there and just rap. Like, I feel like 50 can just go in there and rap.
Yeah.
But I feel like Lloyd Banks was nice.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good
You know
one.
what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, y'all, because I always say the same thing to an extent. I'll be like, to me, that nigga's nice at the Rucker, but he ain't getting no scholarship. You know, that nigga breaking ankles, he gonna be all over your YouTube, but that nigga's not getting no call up from the D League.
Exactly.
So he's not to the next level.
And that's how I felt like Noid. Like, you're Big Noid. Big Noid got bars, but I think Nature is nice. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
And that was my thing. Like, you know, you got cats who nice on the basketball court at the Rucker and, you know, down West 4 for Soul in the Hole, but these dudes ain't never gonna make nobody, you know, Chris Mullen ain't calling them up to go to St. John's. You know, they ain't getting no letter from UConn. They ain't getting scooped up by Temple. You know, but they nice, but they just not next level nice. So on that. I'm with Haas and Nick with Calm. Same thing that Nick was saying. Yo, when Calm first came out with all that, like you just said, that Scooty Bebop, Doo-Bop, all that was my This dude is just a funny dude. I didn't really even start paying attention to Com until the Soul by the Pound remix.
Exactly.
That boom, you're booming in,
exactly with the red saying,
in your trunk. That's when I was like, oh, okay. Like now I like this dude. And then to me, and I'm gonna ask y'all about it later, him being a resident MC, is I don't know how he was able to switch from that style to Resurrection, because it's almost like a night and day switch. Like from this silly rap to being like, I used to love her. Like you literally went from some old Electric Company rap to maybe making one of the dopest rap songs ever in the history of hip hop. And Resurrection, I mean, don't get me started on the Extra P remixes of Resurrection, and you know
that's what happens when you with Erykah Badu for a little bit.
Nah. This way before Erykah.
Erykah changed his life.
Yeah, not in a positive way.
Oh yeah,
not in a positive way by any means. But yeah, it was just like, yo, this dude, like, I just was ready to put him in that category of because back in the 90s we all had these different trends that was coming out. You had
like Das EFX, Fushnikins,
you had all of that. You had your jazz groups. Like to me, Diggable could never bounce back when jazz got played out. You know, you had certain people who couldn't bounce back once whatever little corny shit was out that week or whatever, couldn't bounce back from it. So I definitely got Com as one of mine. Hi, so you got him next to it, brother.
Redman.
Yo, man, I don't know. What are you talking about, Redman? Like, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about just because I seen him in concert the last 2 rips, man. And I never saw him in concert. And just his energy. You know what? I've been rocking with Red since the beginning, man. But you know, just because of my travels in the military, I never saw him live. And I just recently saw him live in the last 2 years. 2 years ago, I saw him at the Barclays at the Masters of Ceremonies. And, you know, him teaming up with Meth now, man, they just bringing a whole nother... I'm thinking they should have been a group.
I mean, Blackout was kind of a group.
Yeah. But I seen him, I just seen him and Meth at the joint here in DC, man, at the Howard.
Right.
And you know, just his energy, man. I mean, and what's crazy is, yo, Meth about to be Red about to be 50, yo.
Yeah.
And to see this cat on stage, man, and the energy that he brings, man, it's wild, man. It's wild the way these brothers are still doing it, man. But yeah, man, just Red on the strength of that, bro.
All right, no doubt. We're gonna put an asterisk by you tonight, Haas, man, because you naming some MCs that's nasty, man. I read on EPMD, I was like, God damn, who is this nigga, man? Disrespectful. We like Common for the community, Red for the stage, so we gonna put an asterisk by you, good brother.
Yeah, I ain't do my homework.
Yeah, you up here just you piggybacking and everything. Nah, I'm fucking with you, man. It's all
you good. It's all good.
You know what you got up next, good brother?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with my man House, man.
Appreciate you.
Redman,
yeah. Redman. Now listen.
I just feel like Redman was undeniably nice from the very first time.
Yes, he was.
You know what? Let me shut up, because y'all doubling down.
Brothers on my job.
Y'all doubling down on me, so let me shut the hell up. Let's say good news.
Yeah, now Redman was nice when he was on those PMD joints, the hardcore joints. Redman ready to rock, rough rhymes and all that shit. I'm not saying that Redman wasn't nice, but just his style and his delivery from the PMD when you first heard him on those albums to when he came with What the album, you were blown away. But then he flipped his style on There Is a Dark Side, and then Muddy Waters. I think he peaked with Muddy Waters, but yeah, he got each time. I feel that Redman elevated his style. You know, he was always coming with the weed shit, and coming with the crazy spacey metaphors and all that kind of shit. But I feel like on each album, his shit got better and better.
Nah, I feel you on that. No doubt. You're right. I gotta remember what I said in the first place. That we not saying these people was.
They gotta be whack. Exactly.
Yeah, right.
It's just tough to hear the names in this conversation.
G-Red is like my favorite rapper. That's my.
I'm about to say
guy right there.
Right there, my dude. You got the poster right behind you, man.
Yeah. Word. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. Nick, who you got him next?
I'm gonna say Jay-Z.
We don't have a long cord either.
When Jay first came out with the typewriter flow, the tic tac toe, and all that, all that, I wasn't feeling it. And I think when he dropped the In My Lifetime, might have been a remix, like around 95 prior to Reasonable Doubt. I was like, that's the same cat? I was like, okay. Because he was also on, what was Ski Group? He had a group.
Original flavor.
Can I get open?
Yeah. Can I get open? Yeah, so when he was doing that kind of style, I didn't like that. But when he got to that point, and then when I heard Dead Presidents, I was like, okay, this dude Jay gonna be a problem. And we know where Jay at now. Right. But if you heard Jay then, there's no way you expected him to be where he is today. I don't think.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt. I actually had Jay-Z as one of my asterisk joints just based off of the same thing that you were saying. That just, you know, when I heard that, what was that joint? I can't go for that. I was like, I was like, man, this shit is whack, man. What?
Oh shit.
And Jay's Stiggity Wild. I'm like, yo, this is funny as shit. And we was at the radio station up at Morgan. My man Roots came in. He was like, yo, I got this new Jay-Z joint In My Lifetime. I'm like, I don't want to hear that shit, man. He's like, yo, this nigga ain't no stiggity rapper no more. I'm like, man, get that shit out of here, man. That nigga put on that In My Lifetime. Yo,
that shit was serious.
Talking about cats being blown away. I'm like, who the fuck is this nigga? This nigga moving weight now? Like, yo, this you know, and then like you said, then My Lifetime remix was crazy, and
that President. Yeah.
It was just,
he was actually on Big L's first album with that typewriter shit too.
So, you know, that's the thing with me, with Jay. But yeah, like you said, we all know what Jay became. So, you know, I definitely had him under my asterisk list. Yeah, who you got up next, bro?
Don't laugh at me. I know y'all gonna laugh. Jim Jones.
I ain't mad at
I ain't mad at Jones.
Okay, all right, cool. Because some people feel away about Jim Jones, man. People feel away about.
I like that new project he got out.
Okay, cool. I'm glad.
Right.
Yeah, I ain't mad at Jones.
Listen, so
I'm mad at him.
Like I said, I have a yearning for. I love new shit, but I love just gritty New York hip hop. 9-point game, by the way.
Who up?
Golden State, right?
6 is up.
6 is up.
That's right. 6 is playing.
So with Jones, you know, when Jones actually first started rapping, I thought he was actually decent. But then he went into this whole like just doing dumb raps, just stupid commercial raps, and I couldn't stand him for a while. And he was putting out a lot of gimmicky like commercial type joints. Like, even though I love the Ballin' joint that he put out, We Fly High, which is a really commercial record. I love it, but I was 25 at the time. It was one of my joints that I always just banged with, you know what I'm saying? But
that shit was hot.
It was a hard record. I mean, it was a hard record, but like, I just didn't like the way he rapped. But then I just started listening to him, and I was like, yo, he actually like has a lot of conviction in his voice. And when the shit he's rapping about, like, you could tell he's been through a lot of the shit that he's talking about. Like, definitely. And then he just kind of grew on me. Like, these last 2 projects he put out, this last one especially is a hard project. I can't lie. Like, I don't know if it was getting with Rock Nation and he was able to like budget himself and get some actual like real production and real features and real singers and things like that around it. But this album sounds really, really good. And I bang with Jones, man. Like, I don't know if it's because I lived in Harlem the last 5 years too, and just kind of like I picked up the kind. I feel like sometimes you move to a place where a rapper is from and you pick up that type of rapper vibe just around the area, that energy, so to speak. I guess I don't know if I'm, you know.
No, I get you. Sometimes you got to be in the area to get the vibe. I think Kill said the same thing about Cass.
Yeah, to understand what it is. So Jones is definitely in my list as far as my most improved for me.
Yeah, no doubt. Like Nick was saying, I feel you on that because when I moved to Atlanta in 97, 98, and AT Aliens was out. Like, yo, the vibe of Atlanta at that time for Outkast was just stupid. You know what I mean? Like, and everything started to make sense when I moved there because I remember when whatchamacallit dropped, and they was like, the package store is closed. And I'm like, fuck is a package store? You know what I mean? Get to Atlanta, and it's like, oh, that's the store. You know, so it's just like everything came together. So I feel you on that, y'all. The other thing with the Jim Jones thing, I feel, is that I've never liked Jim. And then recently I've been following Arsonist from the Heatmakers on IG. And if y'all want to hear some hot ass beats,
Yeah, you
so
do.
that nigga be posting some shit. But he was posting stuff of Jim Jones and Cam, and yo, I've been sitting here like waiting for this new Diplomat project. You know what I mean? Like, and them dudes was never on my radar, but Jones is definitely saying some shit. And I heard some of the project, and it definitely is tough. So I ain't mad at the Jim Jones joint. I got somebody that most people ain't gonna name, Malik B from the Roots. You know what I mean? When Malik B first came out, similar to Fife, I always say Roots and why you laughing, Nick?
I know what you about to say. Go ahead.
The Roots and Tribe to me have always followed very similar paths. Like we said about Fife, it was like, why the fuck is this nigga in the group? You know what I mean? Same thing with Malik B. Like, I remember hearing Proceed, and he like, I can make a nerd say he's superb. I'm like, nigga the fuck out. Why is this nigga? Yeah. The wild part is the nigga like run around my way in Philly, so it made it even worse, you know. But then by the time he got to Philadelphia, and I heard No Great Pretender, that's my favorite song off Philadelphia Half-Life. And there's some bangers on Philadelphia Half-Life. So for me to be like, Malik's solo song is my favorite song, was just crazy to me. And then even on Things Fall Apart, The Spark, like he killed that joint too. I mean, I really think a huge why I've not been like really in love with the Roots like that is because Malik left. You know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of people from Tribe, always be like, yo, it was Tip's group, but Fife added a lot to that group. You know what I mean? And I don't think people realize how much Malik B added to the Roots. I think it was maybe
He did.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like on Game Theory, Nick. Is that the joint where Malik came back?
Yeah, he came back on Game Theory.
Like Game Theory, like that was when I was like, this is what I'm talking about. This Thor, again, not saying nowhere he's nice to Thor or anything like that, but they just compliment each other.
Exactly.
Real good. So I gotta go with Malik B as being one of the most rappers who stepped their game up. So who you gonna give us, man? I'm all ears for your next one now.
Cardi B.
All right.
Cardi.
Whoa, okay.
Respect.
Wow.
I did not expect
Cardi
Cardi
B, yo.
B.
She Cardi B, the most improved of them all, son. She went from the bar, the strip club. She went from the pole to #1, yo.
Yep.
All time, son. Come on, you gotta give it to her.
You a wild,
Come on, girl.
you a wild dude, man. Next time we going out to break bread before you get on the podcast.
He right.
You a wild. You like the old dirty bastard, man. Out right now. Say Cardi B, man.
Cardi B.
Yo, come on, man. You gotta give her the love, yo.
Man, I can't give no that shorty can't rap, man. Come on.
Yo, listen, Kip, you hear the album?
No, I'm not gonna hear the fucking album. I heard it enough.
That's one thing about me. I'll listen to everything.
And that's the thing, Kill. You just gotta hear me out. You just gotta hear me out when I talk about it.
I'm a listen, bro.
Real quick. Just hear me out. Okay. I get it. She's not the most like talented person in the world. She's not a technically sound rapper, right? Not even now. As much as she's improved, she's still not a technically sound rapper. But from when I first heard her rap till like maybe even right before the Bodak Yellow joint, I'll never forget it. I sent a Instagram post to my homies with Cardi B rapping in like a red like mink coat or whatever. And she was spitting. And I was like, yo, wait a minute, hold on. Let me say this. And niggas was clowning me. But I was like, okay. Like in the same vein that y'all hear me say about LeBron, like, I know what I'm watching. I know what I'm hearing. Like, I know what I'm hearing. I don't know who's writing her shit, but I know she can rap now a little bit. This album is an album full of just good records, yo. Like good production, just good records. She's not the most talented. She's not the most lyrical, but the songs are good. and she carries herself very well on the album. It's very versatile. The production is really good, and it bangs, man. There's some banging ass songs on that album.
You ain't selling Kill, yo.
Yeah, Kill. Like,
You ain't convincing Kill,
but
yo.
I listen to it. Like it's not gonna be like an Illmatic album, but for
I know it ain't gonna be. But this is what I'm saying, because you know it's the marriage coach in me. I'm always writing shit down. Here's the wild part now. You said whoever's writing her shit, I don't know who's writing her shit, but she can rap now. See, and I think that's the part that throws me. That's like saying I don't know who's painting Kill's pictures, but that nigga Kill can paint now. No, the fuck I can't. I can't paint because I'm not painting. I'm not picking up the pen. So me, that's the.
But she still got to rap it though.
Yeah, you still got to rap it.
She still got to.
Because listen, Kill. Honestly speaking, because as hard as it is for me to write the raps, it's probably harder for me to deliver them, and that is always the hang up with rappers. Like how it's delivered, voice inflection, cadence, breath control, how I sound. Like she's actually improved in all those aspects as far as that. She's not writing her own shit, but whoever has taught her skills and she's improved on them drastically. And I think that's what's getting lost in the conversation. Like we're talking about most improved, she has to be up there for most improved.
Yeah, she's definitely on there.
And respect my decision, Kill.
Every time I try and clown this nigga high, somebody come back and co-sign.
No, but he right about that one. I'll give you another example. On the flip side, you know how you always clown in Corbeck? He's a good writer. He just can't deliver it. He can't deliver his raps that good. He be off beat sometimes.
That shit's key. Knowing the beat. Like there's certain times you're even rhyming and you have to like take one word out to make it fit, and you don't know what word it is in order to get your point across. But somehow Cardi has figured some of that shit out. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, it's like rappers. It's very tough to sound good on a record. Is very tough to do, and she sounds like she can rap.
All right.
Just one time, Kill. Just give it one spin.
I digress. I mean, to be honest with you, that shit probably ain't gonna happen. I ain't even gonna.
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Again, it's not because it's Cardi B, but Nick, you know how hard my rotation back off.
I know.
I'm the dude. I'm the one rare dude who's like, yo, an album comes out, I'm gonna listen to this joint,
sit with it,
to enjoy it. So when this Royce album drops, I'm gonna be Royce out for the next 3 weeks. So and then after the Royce drops, and I still gotta come back to this Janelle Monáe that I've been banging. So I'll get to it, but I can't promise it's gonna be.
I'm coming by the house.
Royce out the box.
Let me ask you one question, Kill.
Yes, sir.
Before we get off this topic.
Yes, sir.
How does Nay feel about Cardi B?
Nay and Tanya love that song. They like it. It's one of those songs to me that is just, even when I try to hide from music, certain music still finds you. You know what I mean? And that's one of those songs that it found me because they both like it. You know, my kids are playing it in my teen center. It's one of them songs I can't escape from. It's like Bad and Bougie. I tried to hide from Migos. I've been hiding from them, but the niggas found me. Like there's certain people you can't duck from. So I've heard that song. The only other song I've heard from her was when she was on Saturday Night Live with old boy from Black Panther, and I heard that shit by accident. So and then T wanted to finish listening to it. So, but why do you ask that?
I just felt like, just from watching Nay's relationship with you, she has a lot of influence on. You've given her a lot of influence on the music that she listens to. Mm-hmm. She's also a kid, and she's also in school with other people. She's also getting influence from them. So I was just trying to figure out I was trying to gauge based on her age, how much she likes Cardi B.
Oh, I think she really likes her. I mean, I'll let her listen to the edited album. I don't know what the hell you're talking about on the other joint.
Real joint.
You know, with the iTunes joint, you know, you got the edited joint. So if she wanted to hear it, you know, that's cool with me. But it's funny with Nate, because I asked the other day, I was like, yo, when you be rapping these songs, you be editing them out. You like a white person? Do you be saying nigga like when I ain't around? Like you curse when you talk? you know, you love to come in here and be like, but I'm like, yo.
You know what she be doing in that room.
Yeah, I know what you be doing in the room. You come downstairs and you edit everything, but you saying nigga behind closed doors, but yeah, nah. All right, you know what? I will give, yo, this is what I'll do. Because y'all know I'm a man of my word. Give me 2 songs to listen to. I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't listening to the whole Cardi B album. So y'all tell me.
So just saying that to people really bothers me because it's like, yo, do you want to hear the 2 most explosive records, or do you want to hear the 2 like best records? Like,
dog, send me. If I'm telling you, yo, yeah, I got this young boy out of North Philly. Yo, I'm gonna send you his highlights. You know, which joint am I gonna send you? You know what I mean? Or if you want to show somebody why Sham God crossover is better than Iverson, what YouTube clip you gonna send? So
I got
you. Sell me on Cardi B. What you gonna send?
I got you.
You know what? That's gonna be one of our next shows. If you had to explain to somebody why somebody is nice, which song would you send?
You know, send them. I'm all in for that one.
Which song? If it's like, all right, Ghostface is nice, what Ghostface song you gonna sell me on Ghostface? So yeah, that's gonna be a dope show. Nick, who you got up next?
I'll go with Fat Joe.
Good one.
Yeah, like when I first heard the Flow Joe, I like the beat, but like he was like rapping all slow and stuff. I wasn't really feeling Fat Joe on that first album. It was mainly the production that carried that, in my opinion, from Diamond D and Lord Finesse. And he improved on Jealous One's Envy, and then like you saw a big improvement once Big Pun came into the camp. Like when he got to the Don Cartagena album, that era Fat Joe, like he just like improved. You know what I'm saying? And even today, like I ain't bought a Fat Joe album in forever, but he always keep a song on the radio. He always find a way to get him a joint on the radio. Yeah, and try to connect with the young people. So that takes that's a talent too that he got that a lot of rappers from his era don't got.
Yeah, it's funny with Joe. I think I told you before. I had to explain to some of my kids this nigga ain't from Miami because they swear he's from Miami. He's always with Khaled and them, but they really like, nah, Fat Joe ain't from the Bronx, Mr. Killy from Miami. I'm like, oh god, this right. He finds a way to connect with folk. And Fat Joe was on mine because when he dropped, same reasons as you, he dropped with 93. Flow Joe was crazy. That beat was just crazy. Yeah. That Hawaii 5-0 sample and them drums is what got me. He had to join
Diamond D
with Cuba and Diamond, and even to join a lot of people don't talk about. You must be out your fucking mind with Apache and rap was dope. But then something just happened between that and Jealous One's Envy. That dude jumped like that. Yeah, light years because that shit is real. The Primo remix,
yes sir.
And then like you said about Don Cartagena with the ski joint. Was that shit John Blaze?
Yeah.
So yeah, Fat Joe definitely stepped his rap game up big time. Yeah, who you got up next, man?
Freddie Gibbs.
Okay.
Mr. Gibbs.
Gary, Indiana.
I always got funny stories about how I ended up listening to rap. So, Gibbs was out for a while, a couple freestyles, couple projects he put out. I wasn't a huge fan. I was like, okay, he could rap. It wasn't anything special. So I stopped listening to Gibbs. I wasn't like checking for Gibbs at all. I was in Ghana and my brother-in-law was playing, joints off of his shuffle. And he had a song called The Knicks on there. On the Mad Lib joint that he was playing. And he's playing the Knicks though. He's like, yo, Jordan, like he starts off every verse with like, Jordan got 55 on the Knicks, and then he goes, LeBron just dropped 56 on the Knicks. All these things really happened though. Like those are like real life. Like LeBron dropped 56 on the Knicks. I watched that game. Like and I was just like, okay, he's trying to play. So I already don't like this nigga. You know what I'm saying? So like, but yo, the record was so hard and the beat was undeniable, and I was like, sorry. So then I listened to the album probably for like 6 months in a row, and I started listening to Gibbs after that. Gibbs, I didn't realize how good of a rapper he really is. He can really rap, Freddie Gibbs.
Yeah.
Mr. Gibbs.
Yeah, with Gibbs, it was off that Currency Alchemist joint, Pervert Coup. They had
hell yeah.
The way that nigga set that rhyme off, what do you say? Breakfast had 2 titties, 2 blunts, and a turkey bacon sandwich. And I was like, God damn. Yo, talk that intro alone, I'm gonna have to keep listening. Something like I keep running it back like I'm a quarterback for the Eagles, Randall Donovan or Michael. Before I picked the mic up, I had there were plenty disciples. I'm gangbang affiliate. Like that dude just went off, and after that I was like, God damn, this dude Gibbs is dope. So yeah, I definitely put you on Gibbs. I think I said. Oh, I will say this. I had a couple of extras in there. Das EFX. And the reason why I say Das is because, you know, they started the whole Stiggity thing and everything. Mm-hmm. And then when everybody bit it, I don't think for some reason, and I mean, I can understand that the beat, the production on their second album, Straight Up Suicide, wasn't that great. It wasn't stellar production, but lyrically, those dudes demolished that album. You know what I mean? And it's funny because you hear a lot of people, and not just, you know, the MCs and those people. I'm talking about diehard hip hop heads I know will be like, Das was a, you know, one and done group. And I'm like, yo, and it's so funny how many people I come across who never heard Straight Up Suicide, but those niggas, yo, give me that microphone. There are joints on there when they lose their mind. Mm-hmm. That album, Hold It Down.
That's my shit right there.
It was stupid. To me, Hold It Down would have been a 5-mic album if they would have trimmed. It's like 20 songs.
Yeah.
Like, if they would have picked the 12 best songs, you were talking about a 5-mic classic on there with no diggity and real hip hop, dedicated. Like, them dudes can really rhyme. And for some reason, like, I don't know where they got lost in the shuffle, but definitely Das. Yeah, you got any more people, good brother?
I got one more person, real quick. Wiz Khalifa. He's people don't. I mean, a lot of people really realize when Wiz's career really started. He used to do like, you know, those white college anthems, like the fist pump joints. He used to do a lot of them joints back in the day. And then Kush and Orange Juice came out, and I was like, okay, he's decent. Black and Yellow came out, and I was like, I'm okay on Wiz. I was straight. I was like, Wiz is okay. But then he has this mixtape called Taylor Alderdice. And that boy was rapping on there. I was shocked, like blown away. Taylor Alderdice mixtape is one of my favorite mixtapes I've heard in a long time. I want to say it came out like 2012. I was sold. I was like, yo, anytime Wiz raps, I'll listen from now on. And then he's done a couple remixes and a couple verses where he's like had some standout verses where he was actually like really rapping about like actual things going on, and you know, keeping like with conscious thing, but still keep conscious raps, but still keeping like a commercial undertone. And I respect it. So Wiz definitely has my respect as an artist in this rap.
Yo, you know why I love having you on, fam, is because you do bring a younger aspect to the show, because I don't know nothing about Wiz. Like I heard that Black and Yellow shit just from watching NFL and Steelers shit, but I never really heard nothing from the dude that was dope until I heard him on Dave Peach's Paranoia album on a joint Phone Jump.
Yo, he bodied that.
I was shocked because I'm like, yo, am I really rapping Wiz Khalifa rhymes right now? Like, I'm really like, yo, I don't believe I'm really uttering Wiz Khalifa, you know, out of my mouth. But it's weird how I don't know, and I guess it goes back to just me trying to, you know, what it is. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. Wiz Khalifa just looks like a fucking weirdo, and if you look like a fucking weirdo, I'm not gonna. I'm just not.
No, you can't say that because you like Andre 3000.
No, but the Dre I started rocking with didn't look that. So if I'm 14 and I see Dre with a pink wig on, I'm probably not gonna be wanting to listen to what 3000 say. And again, with that being said, I'm sure I'm missing out on a lot of dope hip hop. You know what I mean? So that's why I was saying why I appreciate him coming in with, you know, some of the younger people, because I would have never thought Wiz was dope or nothing like that. Nick, you got anybody else, bro?
One last one is Prodigy from Mobb Deep. Like when they first came out with Juvenile Hell, I was like, okay, little niggas trying to be gangster. It was kind of like illegal. Malik and Jamal, like little niggas cussing. All right, whatever. Then when Shook One's Part 1 came out,
right,
I was like, this shit's dope. And I'm like, these the Juvenile Hell niggas. Shook One's Part 2 dropped, and then, you know, the rest is history. And then me, like, personally, Prodigy took another leap forward from the infamous to Hell on Earth.
Yep.
Give me Hell on Earth Prodigy any day. It's just like when he did that verse on LL Cool J's I Shot You remix.
Yeah.
The Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body. Secret Society. When he did that, from that point on, Prodigy was a beast, man.
Yeah, he was.
He was a beast.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Hell yeah.
Haas, what you got to take us home with, man? I know you're gonna say something crazy. So who is it?
Will Smith. Nah, I ain't got nobody else, man. I ain't got nobody else.
I was about to say, because the rock the house Will Smith is the best Will Smith you can get. If you didn't like rock the house Will Smith,
I was not expecting to hear that. Not gonna.
if you feel like
I ain't got no more, brother.
Yeah, if you ain't like that Will Smith, you ain't like Will Smith. And the last people I actually had Havoc MP.
Because Havoc did step it up too.
For the same reasons that you had, Nick, that these dudes went from, again, and this is what I'm going to get into with Yao, but how you went from Juvenile Hell to the infamous.
Yeah, man, that's what
I don't even, like, that's a documentary in itself.
For real.
Love to sit down with Havoc and just talk about, like, yo, walk me through this shit. Like, what was you drinking? Where was your weed, dude? Like, what was you doing?
Because the infamous is a bulletproof classic.
Yeah, how were you able to go from this bullshit, hit it from the bag, to shook ones, like, you know, and not just rhyme wise, but even production.
Yeah,
you know, for Havoc to learn the MPC like that, and then with Havoc, I mean, this joint right here, the Silent Partner, a lot of people,
with Alchemist, hell yeah,
this is stupid, man. Like, for anybody out there being like Havoc couldn't hold down a solo project, you haven't heard this. So both them dudes stepped up, but I really gotta give it to Hav because, you know, again, he was never the whack one, but it was like, yo, P. And then eventually you started to hear Havoc start saying some shit. And then, you know, when that joint came out, it was crazy. But yeah, let me ask you this, bro. We're talking about the most improved MCs, and I get it. You know, Ben Simmons doesn't have a jumper, so it's like, okay, we got to get him with Mahmoud Abdul Rauf shoot coach, or Dirk shoot coach, or this person don't have no left hand, or he don't got no handle, so we gotta get him with God Sham guy. As an MC, how do you step your game up? Like, how do you come out from all these people we're talking about? How do you step your game up from, like, what would the process be? And again, I've always known you as being a nice MC, so maybe you don't know, or maybe when you can talk about when you first started and you weren't as nice as you were now, but what is the dedication process that you have to do to put in to become better?
Honestly, it really comes, like, you really have to just lock in, and it's all, and this is with anything in life, what I've realized. You just have to lock in and be focused on that thing and everything about it. The history of it, how it is now, and how you can make it better. That's with anything. So for me, like, I knew, honestly speaking, I knew I could be a solid rapper when I wrote my first, like, real rap in college. I was like, okay, I think I can do this. Just because people had told me, like, you know what, you put out a good verse. And then a year later, when I came back to school with like 10 new verses and they were all fire, they were like, yo, you get nicer. And that's when I started to be like, okay, I can really start getting nice. But, like, it takes you just have to lock yourself in, beats, listen to as much rap as you can, listen to the greats as far as who you want to be like. But they have to be great though. Don't listen to any random rapper. Just listen to people who you think are great and who you want to emulate yourself after. And I mean, I don't consider myself to be I'm great in my own mind. People don't know who I am like that, but I think I've had my stretch where I thought I was probably like the greatest rapper on earth, and that's the point you got to get to. But you have to be, like, completely, like, locked in. I remember, like, studio sessions till like 4 or 5 a.m. I'm in the basement of somebody's crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, trying to put out music, trying to make sure it's right. Like, working on a song for 4 or 5 days, 6 days. Take this line out. I don't like the way my breath is right there. Like, that is when, like, and
hey, I got a question, brother. This is just something that I was just thinking about, and I always wanted to ask a rapper this question. how long does it take you to memorize a rap?
It varies. I've had raps that I've memorized in a day. I've had raps that I've memorized in a couple hours, and I've had raps that have taken me months.
Yeah, so it just depends on the rap.
Depends on the rap. Depends on how. For me, for a lot of people, people can just memorize their raps as soon as they write them. They can memorize them like that. But for me, like I said, I take time with trying to like figure out flows, cadences, time spacing. Because I'm still old school. I'm still a guy that like. You hear a lot of rappers now like to punch in to raps. Like they'll say a line, stop, re-rack the beat, then throw another line in. I'm just from the old school, and I always wanted the challenge of being able to get through my verse, straight through while I'm in the studio. I just felt it always sounded better, always sounded more authentic that way. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say it sounds better, but it sounds more authentic, like I'm really going in and really trying to rap. You know what I mean? That's always been a challenge for me.
Because it's more than just memorizing the rhymes.
It's everything else, the cadence.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Sometimes
your voice and all of that.
Sometimes you want to enunciate words differently to give it more impact.
Right.
It really all is a puzzle. It's a puzzle for me.
Now tell me this, y'all. You being younger, because I know in my day, my man Shadi Luke Mom broke it down to me. Growing up in Brooklyn in the '80s, he was like, "Yo, Kill. First, I had to be the nicest person in my house." And 3 other brothers. So it was like before I could even step foot outside of my brownstone in Brooklyn in the 80s, I had to be the nicest MC in my house. Then I could step then it was like, okay, now my next step is I can go on my block and I gotta be the nicest MC in my part of Brooklyn. Then I can take these steps. So there was certain steps in his mind that he had to do to kind of almost prove himself to be worthy to call himself an MC. Nowadays, you don't have ciphers. Nowadays, it's all over the place. So nowadays, what advice would you give to an MC? If you meet a young MC and he's like, yo, I want to get better. What is the advice that you give to him to get better?
To write every verse like you got something to prove. To write every verse to feel like you have something that somebody's going to be like, whoa. Because I still do it for the reaction of my peoples. That's the reason why I still rap. Like, I still want to see like my homies' faces when they hear some of the bars. Like, oh my god, that's the thing that gives me like, that's what gives me the what's the word I'm looking for? The fire still to still want to like put out these raps. So like, oh, my homie hear this, he gonna be like, what? That was what it always was for me. But I feel like
just passion,
dude. The attitude and just try to make sure that like you have something to prove with every verse you write, even if you're doing the same song shit. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing these little trap raps, just make sure that like you want to make sure you do something that you want to prove something to people. That's what I would say.
Right. It's funny, this young dude that got at me on Twitter just about beats, and I was telling him the thing that I think took my beats to another level was in '97. I read this article in XXL called Voodoo Style about D'Angelo was talking about, this is 97, so this is between Brown Sugar and Voodoo. And he was talking about how he studied the masters and Marvin and all of them. And it made me think like, one of my homeboys, Maya, used to always tell me, you know the hits of these people, but you don't know the albums. You know what I mean? So that's when I really went out and I started listening to all Marvin stuff and all the Stevie stuff. And every Wednesday I'd get off work, I'd come home and I would pop in a CD from a producer that I respected. So I pop in, Breaking Adams, and I would sit there and literally take apart everything that Large Professor was doing. How he would switch the drums up before the chorus would come, or how he would make a flute solo happen. And then I started looking at the years, like, okay, well, this dropped in 91. What else was out in 91? And just really being able to, like you said, doing your homework to understand how the greats did it, and then be able to try to mimic that, not fight it, but be able to kind of learn from that. Because again, I grew up in a time when, now I remember when I brought my MPC 2000 back in, I think it was 2005, it came with a DVD on how to use it. And I was like, yo, this is some new school shit. Because I come from an era, we didn't get no instruction manual and on how to scratch. There was no Scratch Academy. There was no Machine Academy where you could go to school to learn it. So I was just giving him, nothing against those places, definitely take advantage of them. But I also was trying to give him the old school way of how to study, how to get better, and how to get doper. So definitely appreciate that, good brother Yao. Hi.
Actually, I got a question for Yao. With that said, about studying the greats, like for the young people now, like for us, we had Nas, Big, Jay. Who do the young cats have now that you consider great, that they could like listen to, study that craft, and get better from?
And hold tight on that. That's a dope question. And when you are saying the greats, are you saying the Nas's and all them, or are you saying people for their era, or both?
Well, I would say you have to do both. I mean, before I put my first album out, one of the albums that I studied was The Great Adventures of Slick Rick, and that's early in my era. I also was listening to Paid in Full, just as far as like song structure and how to like, just even trying to put it like sequencing together. You know what I'm saying? For a certain sound. So I remember when I first went to my engineer, the first question he asked me was like, what album do you want your album to sound like? And I was like, what? I didn't get it. I was like, I wanted to sound like me, obviously. But then I was like, that's why I had to go back and study like how the albums sound, how they're sequenced. So I would say yes, old school and new school. But for some new cats, I would definitely say you got to go study Kendrick. You got to definitely go study Cole. You got to go study Drake. Despite what people might think, you got to go study Drake. I absolutely have to. Even if it's just for like song structure and like learning cadences. Drake is very good at that. And then obviously you have to go study the J's, the Nas, the Bigs. I wouldn't even say they wouldn't have to go back further than that, because that's like eras past. But it'd be good to go look at a Rakim or a KRS-One or whoever from that era. That was a Big Daddy Kane, whoever was nice from that era. Just to go take a look at it, what it sounded like, just to give yourself some history. Because you know what's funny is that this is the only genre where that shit gets looked at as like a down. Like, oh, I got to go back to the era. Like singers go back and listen to fucking Donny Hathaway and fucking Horn all the time and aren't judged for it. But when you're a rapper, you know, you tell a kid to go listen to Big, oh, that shit's old. Like, nah, like, you mean to tell me Boyz II Men wasn't listening to the Temptations? Come on, like, that's eras before them. That's eras, plural, before them. They went back to go study that. You can hear it in their music. So, like, that's why, like, sometimes rap pisses me off. I mean, I love it unconditionally, but those are some of the things that piss me off about rap. You know what I mean? So,
all right, no doubt, good brother. Haas, I know you ain't on social media like that, so where can the people get at you, man?
I'm on Facebook. That's about it. That's about it.
All right, so you gotta come through my crib to get with Haas. If you want to sit down, chop crib with me, you gotta meet us down at the American Wing Spot where we watch our games at, and that's where you get at Haas. Nick, give them all the stuff, good brother.
Twitter is Balloon, like the De La Soul album, BUHLOONE. IG, Starsky with the Gum Soul, Ghostface reference.
All right, no doubt. Yeah, tell them what you cooking up, man. I know you got something coming.
Man, listen, you know, so I just got married, so everything I had to put on hiatus, because for those of you who have gotten married, you got to cut back on certain things in order to make things happen. So congrats again. Thank you, sir. Congratulations. I appreciate it. But I do have music coming out soon. I got music coming. I've got some voiceover projects coming up that I'm working on. Hit me, Yao Music, YAW Music. I still got Hump Day up there. I still got Entry Level up there. If you want to download that, go check that out. It's the link is in the bio for IG, Yao Music. Twitter, I'm all over Twitter nowadays. I'm back on Twitter fully because I fell out of love with Twitter for a little minute, but I'm back. So Yao Music, YAW Music, especially during the playoffs. You want to talk hoops, you want to talk rap, you want to talk whatever. You want to talk a little bit of Trump and Kanye, I'm down for that too. So yeah, hit me.
All right, no doubt. And let me say this real quick too, that I always say we got to salute each other. This dude Jao is a young cat, but he's a nasty MC. You know what I mean? And my little sister came to me and she was like, yo, my homegirl's boyfriend rhymes. Here's a CD. And it was kind of like Cardi B. It was like, come the fuck on. You know, y'all are kids. You know, my little sister got me like 33. So I'm like, whatever, you know. And I pop it in and I'm like, yeah, she's actually pretty fucking good. You know what I mean? Like, this is some adult contemporary hip hop. This dude is talking about working a 9 to 5 every day, entry level position. Like, this shit is good. I meet him at a barbecue in the Bronx. We're chopping it up for hours. And this dude is just a phenomenal MC. Everything he's telling you, He's done his homework on the grades. He's one of those people that I'm always shocked. And when I always tell people, when you're younger and you're 4 years older than somebody, it seems like a million years. Because it's like, yo, I'm a senior, you're a freshman, you know, get out of here. You know, but as you get older, you get married, you work, you have kids, everything just gets blended together. So I always forget how young he is because he's done his homework on it. So definitely support those projects. The Hump Day, he's talking about relationships, entry level, talking about the 9 to 5 stuff everybody can relate to. Not to mention, the dude, what was the ESPN joint you used to intro every week, man?
Yeah,
I used to do the spoken word piece called The Journey. It aired for about 2 years. It was on ESPN every Sunday and NFL Countdown. I've done some work with Bleacher Report. I've done some work with Twitter and NBA. I got some more work coming, hopefully. Been talking to some people. Trying to get some things in order for this coming football season. So be on the lookout, man. Got to keep working, bro.
I feel you. The Journey joint's crazy because crazy. I told you, my man Fish hit me like, yo, Kill, I was watching ESPN's this nigga named something. Yeah. Nigga said nigga named something. Nice. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's my sister's her homegirls, man. I said, I already know. So Cash was even hitting me to you know, back then. So definitely a very dope to see the check. Y'all already know this with me, Kill 889 on Twitter and IG. We'll make beef for food. Always something good getting cooked up over there. Prayer for me and I'll finally get some music done. I gotta get you back out here, man, so we could.
So actually, we'll probably take a trip there coming in a couple weeks, actually. So I'll let you know definitely.
All right, there we go. All right, y'all. As always, dope show, man. I will chop it up with y'all next week, man.